Hey, what's up you guys, BlackwingKei here with another Genshin Impact video. Welcome to part 2 of Inazuma characters overview and what to expect. I know, I could work on the title, but it was the best I could come up with. Can you forgive me? Now, if you haven't seen part 1 of this, it's okay, you don't really have to skip this, don't worry. The link will be in the description to part 1, and possibly I'll put a card on your top right, so you can go ahead, go and click on that video if you want to. But basically, what we went over in part 1 is the characters that are upcoming in the next 2 banners in version 2.0, namely, Ayaka, Yoimiya, and Sayu. We did also talk about Sangonomiya Kokomi and Goro, and that's pretty much where we ended it off. It was like a 15-16 minute video, rather short. This one in comparison though, I hope you guys are strapped in because it's going to be a long one. The characters we are going to be talking about in this video is Toma, Yaemiko, Kujosara, and the Raiden Shogun. Yes, it's gonna be a good one. Now before we jump into the video guys, I would really like it if you guys hit that like button and show your support. Also do subscribe and look forward to more videos of Genshin Impact in this style. I'm really enjoying doing this, like really, this is getting me hyped, this is getting me excited about the game even more. So yeah, I would like it if you hit that like button, subscribe, even comment down below, let me know how I'm doing. I'm open to all sorts of criticisms, don't worry. I'm not here, sitting in a dark room and, just scrolling through my phone and like, oh my god, this guy says something bad about my video, I should go outside and commit not alive. Don't worry, that is not who I am. All criticisms are welcome here. I read all the comments, I like comments, I heart comments, and I reply. So let me know guys, let me know. Alright, now we got all that out of the way, let's go straight into the video. The first character we're gonna talk about is Toma. Now, what's so special about Toma? Did you know that if you add an S to his name, he becomes Thomas? It's so funny, I really just thought of that. Okay, forgive me for that lame joke. I literally just came up with that on the spot, but I had to throw it in somehow, right? Okay, from what we know, Toma is the Kamisato clan's retainer, namely Ayaka's and Ayato's retainer. Now, we still don't know anything about Ayato, we haven't seen him, but I do hope we get to see him in the future, as this character is like really the only one shrouded in mystery. From his character preview, it seems that his identity is a bit of a mystery, and we did see that a lot. Dawe and the developer were saying, yeah, this character, he's a bit shrouded in mystery. His identity is a bit of a mystery. We can also clearly see that he really isn't a native to Inazuma. He looks more like an outlander. Again, I could be completely wrong about this. He may as well have been born in Inazuma the whole time, and I'm just not really trying to force my agenda, my views onto Toma, making him born outside of Inazuma. Who knows? Like I was saying, he could very well have an entire family in Inazuma we don't know about yet. You know what else I get from Toma? I get a lot of child vibes from him. That could be what's impeding my overview for his character. I could even see him being a bow user, but that would be too much copy-paste in my opinion. What will his weapon be then? That I'm not so sure of. I'm speculating that he will either be a polearm user or a claymore user. Toma looks very tall and could easily handle a claymore. There's also that new claymore coming out that looks so much like a katana, so I can see him using that. As for the polearm, I want to just add real quick that in part 1 I really missed something huge. So I've been talking about, lately of how Inazuma is like, based off of Japan, right? And Japan is well known for their katanas, but that's actually false. And I want to correct myself there. In the trailer we even see that a lot of the forces in Inazuma in the big battle that's to happen, a lot of them are using polearms. So honestly, polearms are still going to play a big part in Inazuma, just as in Liyue with the Millilith. So we have a lot to look forward to there. I'm going to say a lot more about the polearms at the very end of this video, so please stick around till then. Right, so back to the polearm. I'm only saying that because he might be an outlander. Most characters native to Inazuma will be wielding swords, but again, I just really debunked this. If he were an outlander, surely he wouldn't follow the customs of Inazuma. He would be using a weapon that he is most comfortable with. So again, my guesses are claymore and polearm, mostly because of his stature as well. He's a tall character. If he was a bit shorter, I probably would have guessed, again, bow, but I guess not. Definitely not a catalyst user. And yeah, maybe a sword would have been okay. But yeah, polearm and claymore, those are my guesses. What about Toma's vision? Well, that's actually pretty easy. Pyro. Once again, I missed this during my initial reaction like with Goto. Since he is a Pyro Vision wielder, I could actually see him being a polearm user rather than a Claymore user. That would make him the second Pyro polearm character and not a third Pyro Claymore user. You know, I'm kind of like, you know, I've already grown to accept Diluc, so, you know, it's okay, but I don't want to see another Pyro Claymore user right now. Like, let's wait till later to introduce more of them. So having another polearm Pyro character is actually very nice. That would be a nice change of pace again. As for his rarity, yeah, Tomo's definitely a 4-star character. He does not give any 5-star character vibes, at least not in my opinion. There's people probably out there saying like, oh no, he's definitely gonna be a 5-star character. He's gonna be the next Tartaglia. You just watch. He's going to be the Pyro Tartaglia. Oh yeah, just you wait and see. Yeah, I don't see it. His character screams 4-star. He just doesn't stand out as much. Like Ayaka, like Yoimiya, like Sango no Miya Kokomi. Oh yeah. Definitely, right? So yeah, that's all about his weapon, his vision, and his rarity. Now, what can we expect from Toma in the story? Honestly speaking, I'm not expecting much. Now, pause right there. Although I say that at this moment, I'm still a bit wary of Toma. Now, again, this opinion has kind of been changed after seeing the teaser trailer and the Ayaka demo trailer that I recently reacted to, where we see that Ayaka is very close with Toma. Obviously, Toma being the direct retainer to Kamisato Ayaka and, you know, the Kamisato clan in general. We can kind of see why they would be so close, but there's just something about Toma that doesn't add up. See, Toma's the kind of character that could easily pull a lot of strings from behind the scenes, due to his connection with the Yashiro Commission and all, and being close retainer to the Kamisato clan, like I just said. Surely he is someone who is very well trusted to be in that position to begin with. But what if he turns traitor to the cause? Perhaps he's working with the Tenryou Commission as well and will betray our allies? It's not likely, but not impossible. It could very well be that his role of importance in the story could play out in another region during another Archon quest in the future. Another thought I had was a possible connection to Fatui, an undercover harbinger maybe? He does have that head ornament that closely resembles what you would see with the Fatui Harbingers, which is basically like a mask and whatnot. Yeah, look guys, I know it's a reach, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities, and you know that. We will definitely see Fatui in Inazuma, and no, I'm not just talking about the new Fatui agent, the beauty that is the Mirror Maiden. I'm obviously talking about a Fatui Harbinger. We are to expect to see a Fatui Harbinger in Inazuma. One more thing that is off topic, and I'm not really going to focus on in this video, is the Abyss. We can definitely expect to see something regarding the Abyss, maybe some insights as to what happened to Dainsleif, maybe, you know, we can get more information on that, but yeah, that's not going to be the focus of this video, but we are to expect the Abyss as well, seeing as how we saw the new Electro Abyss Mage in Inazuma. So yeah, we're gonna see some Abyss movements in Inazuma, so let's look forward to that. Alright, let's move on to the next character. We're already done talking about Toma, now let's move on to Yae Miko. Yae Miko is also known as the Guji, or the Chief Priest. Now, I had somebody in my comment section before already give me most of this detail already as to what it is, a Chief Priest and whatnot. She's basically in charge of the Narukami Shrine. The Narukami Shrine is actually one of the top 3 places I cannot wait to see more of. Unlike Kokomi, where I'm unsure if she's a priestess or not, Yae is most definitely a priestess. She is seen wearing the traditional Shrine Maiden outfit. The most obvious detail about Yae Miko is that she resembles a character from Honkai Impact 3rd, Yae Sakura. You all might have more information on Yae Sakura than I do because I personally haven't played the game yet. I've seen a few comments here and there basically saying that there could be possibly a multiverse or alternate universe at play here, or that it's confirmed that we're gonna see characters from Honkai and Genshin, since we currently do have characters from Genshin in Honkai. Yeah, Fischl, I believe, was one of the characters in Honkai recently, so we do have that. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about her vision, weapon, and rarity. From what we saw during the presentation, it's most likely that she is an Electro Vision wielder. Why do I say she's an Electro Vision wielder? I mean, just look at the screen right now. Look at her character, where I paused it. I'm not sure which scene I'm using, but I'm sure I'm using the right one. She has a lot of purple ornaments on her, and it's kind of suspicious to me. I'm like, you know, they wouldn't do that to throw me off and whatnot. It has to be that she has an Electro Vision. As for her weapon, Priestess? The only weapon I can associate with a priestess is a catalyst. Okay, sure. You can say that you could have a sword that would resemble one of those like staves and whatnot. I'm gonna try to show like a picture of it that has like those kind of like those white papers cut into like diamonds and whatnot. And basically it will be that staff to stave off evil that the Miko or the Shrine Maiden would use, right? Yeah, you could have a sword decorated like that and give that to Yae Miko, you know, perfect role, priestess, staving off evil. But no, you're not convincing me like that. She's most likely gonna be a catalyst user. I really don't see her using anything other than the catalyst. Like, it can't be a bow. It doesn't really suit her. Can't be a polearm, can't be a claymore. We're really only left with sword and catalyst, and bingo, catalyst looks like it's gonna be the one. That's also kind of why I say Kokomi will be a catalyst user as well. I mean, just look at her. Well, I'm not showing her to you right now, but from what we saw of Kokomi, like, it screams Hydro Catalyst user. Alright, and for Yae Miko's rarity, seeing as how she resembles Yae Sakura from Honkai Impact 3rd, I'm gonna go ahead and say that she's a 5-star character only because she's very popular in Honkai Impact 3rd, right? I'm sure she is very popular there, right? So that's why I'm gonna say that she's a 5-star character. I will be shocked, and I mean genuinely shocked, if she is a 4-star character. Now again, I'm just thinking about it now, and it could be possible only because Fischl is a 4-star character in the Genshin Impact universe, and she was put in Honkai Impact. So what's to say that Yae Miko will have the same rarity as Fischl has in our universe, right? So we don't know, but I'm gonna say 5-star character for now, and we'll leave it at that. Alright, what are we to expect from Yae in the upcoming story, as she will be a recurring character throughout the overall plot in Inazuma, as we've already been told. Yae definitely has all the sauce. We'll probably learn the most of what we need to know from her. It is said that she is also very hard to predict. So perhaps she could also be a very elusive woman? You know, basically not appearing before many people who approach the shrine, because that would be in tandem to like being a kami, basically, right? People would go to the shrines to make a prayer. The kami don't just show up and shake your hand and whatnot, so maybe Yae Miko is kind of like the same. Maybe like a deity is kind of what I want to say, like not more so like a kami, but a deity. It's almost the same thing, but you know, kind of different. You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, almost as if she were a god or a kami. Yae Miko is definitely the #1 character I'm very interested in meeting, because I can expect that she will give us a huge lore dump. Yeah, I think she is gonna be the one. I can't wait to meet her. And again, the shrine is gonna be one of the places I'm most excited to see as well. So that's a 2 for 1. 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Okay, now we've hit the intermission yet again, like from the last video. We're finally near the end here. Only 2 characters left to talk about. The 2 characters I'm really most excited for too. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way. That is, unless you're loyal Ayaka fans, which is not bad either. There's a lot of characters to be excited for after all. Once again, I just want to remind you all to hit that like button if you are enjoying the video so far, and consider subscribing too if you want to see more content like this in the future. Now, let's finally move on to the final 2 characters. Of the final 2 characters, we're gonna start off with Kujo Sara. Okay, again, I'm always trying to say the names in 2 different languages. Kujo Sara. Let's just say Kujo Sara. Kujo Sara. She is the general of the Tenryou Commission, and she is also the adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission. Again, it's important to know these things. At least for me, I like taking note of this. The Tenryou Commission is part of the Tri-Commission, Yashiro Commission, and I believe the Kanjo Commission also falls in that. Pardon me if I'm wrong about that. From the character descriptions we got during the presentation, it is said that she is a Tengu warrior. It's also said that she has wings as dark as a raven. Wait a second. This is almost similar to Fischl and Oz. Very interesting, and you'll see why. Kujo is very loyal to the Raiden Shogun, and it shows since she is responsible for implementing the Vision Hunt Decree in Inazuma. The Tenryou Commission, as we know, was the one responsible for implementing the Sakoku Decree. She is also a very prominent character, well known among the Tri-Commission for being very capable as well. Like I've said before, Kujo looks like she will have the personality that I will absolutely fall in love with. I mean, who doesn't love very charismatic women? Like Ayaka, Yoimiya, and Sayu, we pretty much know what her kit will be. Electro Vision wielder, bow user. Again, Very similar to Fischl. That's what I was saying, like, wings as dark as a raven? What does Fischl have? Isn't Oz like a raven or a crow? Dark wings, electro vision wielder, bow user. I don't know. I hate to say Fischl clone, but I really don't think it's gonna be like that. Because Fischl is kind of special for summoning that bird, for the off-field electro damage, you know, she's special in her own regard, so I cannot wait to see what Kujo Sarah will bring to the table. Now, I'm pretty sure there are people out there who are actually pretty upset that we're getting another electro bow user. Look, it's all about variety. We're bound to see more characters in the future who share the same weapon and vision. I mean, we technically already there. Yoimiya and Amber. Bow users, Pyrovision. Okay, so for her rarity, I was rather conflicted. I think she will be a 4-star character, which really isn't bad. It only makes her more easier to obtain, right? Which I'm 100% okay with. More easy constellations, am I right? Now, I wanted her to be a 5-star character so bad only because in the broader spectrum, 5-star characters generally outperform 4-star characters. Now, I do know that in the end, it depends on how you build them. I mean, you could easily argue that Beidou is far stronger than Keqing, or maybe Kaya is stronger than Eula? Who knows? You know what? Like in the last video, I'll leave you guys with that discussion to cook amongst yourselves. What do you think? Do 5-star characters generally outperform the 4-star characters, or are there 4-star characters out there that can outperform 5-star characters? I want to see the comparisons. Let me see. Put up Eula versus Kaya. I need to see who's gonna do the more damage and who's gonna perform better. I mean, look, I'm just talking I'm just talking nonsense now. Sorry about that, but yeah, I'll leave you guys to talk about that. But in my opinion, generally 5-star characters, and it shows, they do outperform 4-star characters. But in some cases, 4-star characters do a bit better than the 5-star characters, and of course, you know, constellations matter. So constellation 6 versus a constellation 0 5-star, yeah, you know, it's all about how you weigh it. But yeah, I'll leave that to you guys. You guys talk about that one. Let's continue. Since Kujo is a very important character, I am expecting a lot from her. There will be a large-scale battle taking place, and you can bet that Kujo will be on the front lines leading the Shogunate forces. I mean, we kinda see that during the trailer. But like I said, we don't know where in time that battle takes place. One thing that did pique my interest about her is the fact that she is the adopted daughter of the Kujo clan. Now this could mean something, or it could mean nothing at all. This could very well explain more about Kujo's character and why she sides with the Raiden Shogun, and her ideals, of course. Let's talk about that for a bit, because I really never put a lot of mind into this, but let's think outside the box just a little bit. Perhaps she used to have another family name, or she doesn't know the origin of her birth. There are many possibilities here. It could go either way. I do believe, though, that her being adopted into the clan played a big part in her being blessed with the vision and thus following the Raiden Shogun. My theory is also that Kujo was the last person to receive an electrovision from Baal. Again, I could be wrong about that. Kujo might have had her vision for a very long time now, at a very young age. We don't know yet. All I can say is that I'm very excited to see what more there is to Kujo, and of course, finally, having her in my party. Alright, ladies and gents, we're finally here. Last but definitely not the least, the Electro Archon Baal, or the Raiden Shogun, as she is known by the people of Inazuma. Right off the bat, let's not waste any time. Let's start. Weapon, vision, and rarity. For the weapon, I'm gonna go ahead and say sword. I'm sticking to what I said before, but I do have my doubts about that, and I just want you to remember, keep this in the back of your heads real quick, you know, for a while. We're gonna touch upon this again, but I'm sticking to sword, but I have my doubts about the Electro Archon wielding a sword. I recently discovered some information, and I'm gonna talk about that towards the end of this video, so just stay tuned, okay? What about her vision? Oh my god, guys. You better not tell me that she's not an Electro Vision wielder. If you tell me that the Electro Archon does not have an Electro Vision, then I'm gonna go outside my window and commit not alive. Because there's just no way. Alright guys, alright, that was a trick question. Obviously, she does not have a vision. Archons have what's called a gnosis. Her element is electro though, as she's still falls into the elemental category despite not having a vision. Just like the Traveler, She is also obviously a 5-star character. I refuse with my whole body and soul to believe otherwise. Venti is a 5-star, and so is Zhongli, so why not Raiden as well? Yeah, I mean, clearly I'm talking out of nonsense again. She's obviously going to be a 5-star character, I mean, hello. From all the information we have on hand, we know that she is the Archon that is pursuing eternity. Could it be that she knows something more that we have yet to figure out? This is all very interesting. Her famous words are, "You will be inlaid upon this statue!" Wait, why am I saying that? Why don't I just let her tell you herself?
You will be inlaid upon this statue.
Here's another quote that she loves to tell the people, and it goes as follows. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of those, eternity is nearest unto heaven. Unfortunately, I can't play a clip of that for you, but this is basically what Zhongli says at the end of the Liyue arc, Chapter 1 Archon quest. So if you want to go back to that, I'm pretty sure you can find the video on YouTube where someone is playing through the ending of the Liyue arc, and Zhongli is basically giving you information as to what's happening in Inazuma and all about the Electro Archon Baal. I feel like that quote explains everything, yet it doesn't explain anything at the same time. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. Obviously, this quote is pretty much underlying what her pursuit of eternity is. So it's to give us an idea without, spilling all the sauce all over the place, right? Now back to her other quote, which she says in the trailer, "You will be inlaid upon this statue." When she says that, she's talking about the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god statue that we briefly see a glimpse of during the trailer. When do we see it in the trailer? Well, basically, when she's saying that and, you see the statue behind her with the wings and the eyes and whatnot. Yeah, so that's what she's talking about. Or at least that's what I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god statue is that statue which is behind her. That's not confirmed yet, but I'm guessing that's what it is. All I can say is that the statue is definitely connected to her pursuit of eternity and why she is confiscating the visions. Also, something else to think about, why did she stop giving visions to the mortals? That's also going to be connected to this statue as well, I'm sure of it. Expectations? Since she is an Archon, I'm expecting a whole lot. The story and the overall conflict in Inazuma centers around her after all, so we'll definitely see a lot of her. What I'm expecting is more secrets to be revealed in regards to the true nature of this world. The words that our sibling left us with as they went back into the Abyss, with the Abyss Herald in version 1.4, Dainsleif following suit. Now let's talk about her Gnosis. The Raiden Shogun's Gnosis will definitely be stolen. There is no way that she will willingly hand over her Gnosis like our humble Geo Archon did, for the sake of the contract to end all contracts. Before we do continue though, I do want to add that her Gnosis might actually not get stolen during the Inazuma arc, as I like to call it. Maybe it will get stolen later throughout the story, if not now that is. It could go either way. This is just a simple prediction based on previous incidents with the Archons we have encountered. The real question is, who will steal it? I'm on the same boat as everyone else, and it's practically a meme by now, but I want to see Scaramouche and Inazuma as well, just as much as the next guy. However, like I said, it's kind of like a meme right now, so my reason might be different from the general public's reason. They just want to see him there because they're fans of Scaramouche and Electro Archon, they're putting pieces together. But yeah, my reasoning is a bit different though, so hear me out. Alright, we know that Scaramouche is an Electro Vision wielder. That's why I want to see him involved. We know that he's also the 6th of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. The only thing that is dissuading me from this theory is how Scaramouche was introduced into the story. Let's roll back the time a bit. Scaramouche was first introduced through an event which we got to learn a lot more about Mona and Fischl, and also the false sky, which was kind of teased at the end of that event. Because he was introduced through an event rather than an actual quest, which you couldn't play unless you were playing the game in those days. If you started playing after December or January, you're not gonna meet him, unless you look at videos on YouTube. I still don't know why they decided to introduce the character there. He only makes a few brief appearances, says something about the false sky, and just leaves. That's it. What we do know is that he's out to kill us, but that's about it. I still would like to believe that it will be Scaramouche to rob Baal of her Gnosis. The reason is because she would be losing something very integral to her pursuit of eternity from someone she once blessed with the element of Electro. Remember, the Archons themselves do give out the visions, but the one with the vision themselves or the one with the element themselves are not responsible for giving out like the element. Again, let's go back to the example. Let's say Klee got her vision from Venti, right? Venti is Animo, Klee is Pyro. What happened there? It looks like Klee's soul radiated and connected more with that of the Pyro Archon. So that's what I'm going with in terms of vision. So let's go back to Scaramouche. Scaramouche may have gotten his vision from somebody else, but guess what? It was the Electro Archon herself, Baal, Raiden Shogun, that blessed Scaramouche with the Electro vision. It almost sounds poetic to have your ambitions be grounded that way. Get it? Because, you know, electricity, to be grounded. Yeah, okay, I'll stop. I'll stop with the lame jokes. Okay, but how would she lose it though? She's an Archon. My theory is that after our confrontation with the Electro Archon, she will be caught off guard by the Fatui Harbinger that has been laying low in Inazuma, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike and rob the Archon of her Gnosis. Wait a second, this sounds almost similar. Wasn't I just talking about Toma earlier, saying that maybe he's an undercover Fatui agent and or Fatui Harbinger, and he heard about the Traveler coming, and so he's waiting for us to come, confront the Electro Archon, and then just basically strike Baal after we're done, after she's worn off. Because, you know, the Traveler is strong, so we're gonna give the Archon a run for her money. This is almost similar to how Venti's Gnosis was taken, and that's the inspiration for this theory. I believe that she is gonna get caught off guard because I just don't see her facing off against somebody and just losing her Gnosis up front. We'll probably get some dialogue here and there from Fatui agents situated in Inazuma, possibly name dropping a Fatui Harbinger who will soon appear. That's exactly how it happened in Mondstadt. If you paid attention to the dialogue, the Fatui agents mentioned that Senora, number 8 of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, is already there, which paid off in the end, seeing her steal the Gnosis from Venti. As you can see, I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from that past Archon quest. Again, I could be completely wrong, and it could be someone else entirely new, in a different setting, different from how I described. We'll just have to wait and see at this point. Finally, I want to talk about her weapon again. Remember, I said keep this in the back of your heads. I will be bringing up the weapon again. I did say I was going to be sticking with the sword prediction, but I want to introduce a new possibility. Okay, so let's dive into it. Now in the trailer, we clearly see Baal pulling out a sword out of her bosom. Chest or boobas, if you must. I could easily just wrap it up there and call it a day, but let's think outside the box for a moment. And this time, I'm talking about like the outside of the box, like really out there, not just like tipping over the box and falling down, scraping your knee and getting back in the box. No, we're going out. Let's go on an adventure, guys. To be honest, this is the first time I'm thinking outside of the box in regards to Genshin Impact characters and lore. Let's go back a bit. We know the land of Inazuma is based on Japan. We can see that from the structure, the landmarks, the people, and the overall culture that we see. That's one of the main reasons I believe that Baal would use a sword. Swords resembling katanas, which are well known in Japan. Now, what if I told you that the sword is not the only weapon that you can find in Japanese history and the folklore in general? I want to talk about Izanami, one of the deities who is responsible for the birth of the land, according to Japanese mythology, of course. In the Japanese mythology, Izanagi and Izanami are responsible for bringing other well-known deities into the world. Izanami is later killed by the flames of her offspring, Kagutsuchi. Izanagi slays the newborn Kagutsuchi in his rage. Their story sadly ends with Izanami living in the underworld while feeling very vengeful with Izanagi for breaking his vow with her. Okay, I know I skipped a lot of the middle part there, but I just want you to get familiar with that tale. At the beginning, when Izanagi and Izanami were summoned into the earth by the heavenly beings, they were given a spear called the Amano Nuboko. I'll have it on the screen for you because I had actually trouble trouble remembering this name, but yeah, once again, it's called the Amano Nuboko. With that spear, they then create the land from the mud they gather from the sea. With this, it's pretty evident that the spear plays a big role in Japanese history through this mythological tale. Now, let's step outside of this realm for a second. Now, this is not the only time we see spears in Japanese history. Of course, I'm not sure who else is familiar with Ronin 47. In Ronin 47, when the 47 samurai go off into, what was his name again? Kita? To avenge their fallen lord because they were wrongly accused of something that happened in like a big meeting and whatnot. So the lord of the Akko domain fell because of this wrong accusation, and so the 47 samurai marched to Kita's domain and basically slew him, and they had to commit seppuku at the end of that story. So in that story, there are characters, samurais, who also use polearms. So again, that's another basically a reference to bring up that polearms have been very prominent in Japanese history and the folklore and mythology as well. Other weapons that have been well known in Japanese history are the bow, of course, and I think I've already explained this before. Ghost of Tsushima, it is well known that samurai would actually ride on their horses and shoot from a distance with their bows and arrows. Very few times would they go out of their horses and face in a, close combat duel with their weapons and whatnot. But yeah, mostly they would ride on their horsebacks, shoot from a distance with the arrows, and then they would come in close with the enemies who were closer to them. Oh, well actually we see polearms in Ghost of Tsushima too. So there you have it. More sauce about polearms. Yes, I want you to think about that. Polearms, that's where I'm leading up to. But we're not ready to talk about that yet. Like I was saying, this clearly isn't the only tale which involves a spear, but you get the idea. The spear / polearm plays a big role in Japanese history just as much as the katana, and just as much as the bows and arrows. Okay, so now let's go back. Why did I think of Izanami when I saw Baal? Now this could be the deal breaker of this theory, but throughout anime history, we've always gotten many iterations which take inspiration from mythological tales. Other sources of media and entertainment have taken inspiration from this as well. Many of these iterations closely relate Izanami with thunder, despite her being involved with the creation of the land. That's the sole reason I thought of Izanami. My brain is somehow hardwired now to think of Izanami equals thunder, even though Izanagi also kind of reminds me of thunder, but yeah, practically that's where my thought process is. Why did I think of Izanami? Because I'm thinking of thunder. Why did I think of thunder? Because I'm thinking of the Raiden Shogun. Why the Raiden Shogun in thunder? She's the Electro Archon, so putting the pieces together here. If you saw my reaction to the version 2.0 trailer and my discussion in that same video, I was bringing up that I was thinking of two different names as for the different aliases that Archons like to go by, and for Baal I was thinking Izanagi and Izanami, so there you go again. However, having just given you a brief history that is, of Izanagi and Izanami, I want to let you know that at this time, I don't think her name will be Izanami anymore, because she already has a name of another deity, the god of thunder in Japanese mythology, Raiden. Raiden has also been known as Raijin or Yakuza no Ikazuchi, who also came from Izanagi and Izanami. Izanagi and Izanami basically had a lot of kids, and basically their kids are the deities, and Raijin happens to be one of them. Raijin, also known as Raiden. So again, this is it. That's why I said this theory, this information right here could be the deal breaker for this theory. It pretty much debunks all of it, but I thought it would be a fun subject to bring up. With all that finally cleared up and said, the only other weapon I can see her using is a polearm, just like Zhang Li. If I'm being honest with you all, I wouldn't like that idea at all, but it's a possibility. Those are my two guesses, sword or polearm for the Electro Archon, Raiden Shogun, Baal. Right now in the game, there are currently only 5 weapon classes, and we have 7 Archons. We're bound to run into repeated weapon users. Who knows, maybe we'll get a new weapon class in the future? Really, only time will tell. Another thing that tipped me off was the weapon banner. The 5-star weapons usually cycle as well, if you've noticed, so it wouldn't have made much sense to see a new 5-star sword for Baal just after we got a 5-star sword for Ayaka. So now I know you're asking this, what gives with the sword we see her pull out of her chest? Or I'm sorry, her boobas. Will we see something new and innovative, like how Child uses the bow, but can make it into into a dual-wielding weapon and a spear for close-range combat? Once more, we'll have to wait and see. Alright, one more thing before we finally wrap up this video. The other reason I brought up Izanami and the spear to connect it with Baal is because of one of the islands that we'll see in the game. It is said that the Raiden Shogun fought a great serpent and had to use her abilities, her full powers, to defeat the Great Serpent. What happened when she defeated the Great Serpent? She split the land. She changed the whole atmosphere of the island when she split it in two. Now, why is that important? Why is splitting the land in two important? Well, it's basically in stark contrast to Izanami or Izanagi when they use the spear to plunge it into the water or the sea, bring up the mud, and form the land. It almost fits too perfectly, which is why I kinda want Baal to use not a sword, but a polearm, just so it could fit that theory and just so it could fit that connection that I'm basically making. That's pretty epic. But yeah, you'll probably see the picture on the screen right now where it shows that island that was split in two when the Raiden Shogun defeated the Great Serpent. Again, I really do want to find out more about that Great Serpent, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Let's move on to the conclusion. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have in terms of discussing the Inazuma characters overview and what to expect of them. That wraps up the whole video. I really and sincerely apologize for the tardiness. I did not expect that it would take me 2 whole days to write out a 10-page script/essay. I haven't written essays or papers like this in a very long time. I mean, I'm talking about over 5 years now. That's all I have for now though. The following content on my channel will be story reactions and overall gameplay from Inazuma. I do hope you look forward to that as we continue this amazing journey together in Genshin Impact in the land of Teyvat. Please comment down below your thoughts as well. Just what waits for us in the future of Genshin Impact? Only time will tell.
We have always had enough time.